operating examples of sustainable ecosystems. Let's enter into a bit more detail for each of these categories. First element, this is the technology roadmap of VeChainThor platform. And this technology roadmap is following three different streams. First of all, you can't be the by nature choice of sustainability-related solutions if you are not walking the talk. So the first stream is trying to make sure that when VeChain is utilized as a technology, first of all, is utilized and is creating a lower footprint than any other comparable technology. Second element, since VeChain is used by society, adopters, users, and enterprises, VeChain should be in a position to provide these stakeholders with the exact quantification of what the VeChain is affecting their own carbon footprint. Third element, this information should be shareable, and in order to make this process as much as transparent as possible. Second stream, you need to trigger the discussion, you need to enable the stakeholders to use this technology, but you can't be alone. You need also to make sure that your community progressively is aligning their own efforts to support the development of those features which are needed for any kind of sustainability-related solutions. Third element, you should incentivize and promote the delivery of a number of applications that are in line with this vision. And here you find a set of examples of deliverable and solutions that will be delivered either by VeChain Foundation or by the NV and VeChain Foundation or by other players. And this kind of solution are basically related to the real world, are affecting problems that are daily life, for example, in supply chains. A few words about why I'm saying that VeChainThor as a blockchain is the natural choice. I said we need to walk the talk, and this is an example. So the entire consumption of VeChainThor blockchain for 1 year is equal currently to only 2.4% of the energy which is needed in order to mine a single Bitcoin. First, comparison element. Second element, the total consumption of electricity which is done by the network is equal to 4.3 Bitcoin transactions. Third element is just a comparison with another layer one in terms of what is the energy consumption required for one transaction compared to a peer layer one platform. We believe that the lower transaction cost, but also the lower transaction footprint, are two fundamental elements and pillars to make this technology accessible to everyone. A first concrete outcome of this all-in action on sustainability is represented by the fact that starting from 2023, the VeChain Explorer will be able to show the carbon footprint of all the 101 authority nodes and will be able to associate to every single transaction the carbon footprint of that transaction, thus allowing the user and the enterprise to embed this calculation into their own footprint calculation. Let's now enter into a few examples. Time is running, so I will have to fast. I will provide some suggestion of what is already done and what we are going to do together with VeChain in DNV in order to tackle those elements that I've been mentioning so far. First example. We talk about the need of reducing CO2 emissions, but there are other needs in the society at large. For example, we need to reduce the plastic, and in particular, we need to make sure that this plastic is moved out from oceans, because this is a big problem, oceans and rivers. We have done, and when I say we, I'm referring to both DNV and VeChain, two different projects with two entities, the ocean cleanup from one side and receive from another side, which were all aiming at making sure that when you are moving out plastic from the oceans, you are not just greenwashing, but you are really moving out the plastic from the ocean. So we have been using VeChain to put in place a system for ensuring traceability of the plastic removed either from oceans or from river. This is just the first step. The second step has been to develop a solution which is basically able to use this traceability and to make sure that this plastic is going in the right place and is not altered in terms, for example, of mass balance. So only the plastic you are gathering from oceans are really used by, for example, a retailer or a consumer product manufacturers to produce something which contains that plastic. Third element, which is going to be delivered, is basically to quantify the contribution of this initiative in terms of plastic that could be therefore reused and which therefore do not require utilization of further material, creating an offsetting which instead of offsetting CO2 is offsetting plastic production. This element is now at prototype level and will be delivered in the next months. And this credit will be traded between stakeholders in order to manage their offsetting initiatives. Another example has to do with the possibility to quantify the footprint of a product and also qualifying that footprint. We are in the process of delivering an NFT product passport. What does it really mean? That means that we will be able to give an identity to each product using serialization and to link to this product certain measures and certain values which are related to the reduction of the externalities. So if a product is manufactured with less CO2 or less water consumption, this saving is tokenized in credits like the ones related to plastic, and these credits could be shared. So this is a combined usage of NFT and tokenizations. So far, we have been in the position to show transparency of supply chain. So, I mean, we are in a position to demonstrate the origin of products and the footprint of the product. We are in the process with two players to deliver first a footprint calculator and third the possibility to tokenize these externality savings. Another example which we have been delivering to two real estate players which are under an NDA agreement are related to the possibility to use the same technology to basically map what is in a real estate building in terms of asset, measure all energy consumption related to these assets, and basically promote energy saving initiatives on the basis of the data that are gathered real time. We did perform the feasibility study on this for one of these two players, and we are in the process of realizing a carbon credit platform which is going to be used by this player. Last element, it is at the concept stage. It's about applying this logic to in the fashion industry, trying to promote as much as possible the circularization of the supply chain through the combined effect of NFTs that are giving to clothes a digital identity and incentivization to consumers. So far, we have been working very hard on making sure that we are in a position to track and trace the origin of each component and its footprint. The next step, which is going to be designed in the upcoming months of 2023, will be to put in place a bring back program through a dedicated ecosystems. Time is running, so I hope I've been able to give you a suggestion or a perception of what we could do out of the fintech world by using DLTs. We have time for questions, if any, and I will be very happy to give you further information about it. I need to wear the... Give me a second, I need to wear...
Good afternoon. Can you please tell us what's your plan for the ocean cleanup, that project?
First of all, I cannot disclose specific plans for specific initiative, but I could tell you that the next step in the plastic removal process will be to tokenize these credits, both in terms of plastic credits and CO2 credits, and put in place an incentive mechanism for example, in river for fishermen, which will get this credit as an incentive to further engage them in plastic removal.
Hi, thank you very much for the sharing. I would like to know, when you are mentioning about the carbon footprint, you do need to measure them as the first step, right?
Yes.
So I would like to know what are the partners that you're looking for the first step of measuring the carbon footprint?
Yeah, I mean, DNV has the knowledge to provide this kind of assessment, verification, and calculation features.
So which means, like, for your own organization is already implemented with the technology for measuring the carbon footprint itself?
Yeah, I mean, you have to divide this in two steps.
Mm-hmm.
First steps is the possibility to quantify, so to measure. Second element, how to make sure that this process is as much as possible automated. These are two different steps.
Mm-hmm.
Put in place carbon footprint calculation is one element. Making it viable and scalable is another one. And digital technologies are helping, making sure that you could apply this logic as much as possible into the real life in a scalable way.
Mm-hmm. So if coming back to the ocean plastic project, so when you mentioned about the GPS to locate the position of the plastic, Is it? I would like to know. Is it more about when you trace it? It's a way to find like how the plastic flow from the sword to the ocean, so that you can have follow-up measures about like what actions to take, because most of them are going to this direction of the ocean.
No, in that case, the need is a trust need. So these initiatives are supposed to produce a strong communication impact. Okay, there have been cases of initiatives. I'm not referring to those I've mentioned, that were basically making fake statements. So they were basically adding more plastic than the one was really collected from the rivers or from the oceans. So this element, this technology solution, helps and makes sure that those who are applying it are, able to prove to the society at large that that plastic was only removed from rivers or from oceans, rather than simply added to an existing batch of plastic that were coming from there. So it's more tracking the origin and making sure that that plastic is coming from the river or is coming from the ocean.
I see. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you.